So we want to talk about my new tarot deck. It's going to be called the Imaginarium Engkanto. It's part autobiography, part fantasy story, part epic journey, um, and part memoir. Because I feel like it's all these stories. I know I have all of these stories in my head, in my heart, that I've experienced throughout the years. And a lot of them magical. A lot of them may be crazy. But mainly, these are my experiences that I want to tell because I feel they do have something to say. Um, like, what I'm going to be doing for the major arcana, and that's the main project right now. It is going to be the Fool's Journey. We are so instead of the cards being read individually, I kind of wanted to weave a story, a narrative that connects them all. I mean, loosely connects them all. So it's sort of gonna be a collection of short stories. I mean, if you think about it that way. We start off with the Fool because that's the beginning of the major arcana. And then when we get to the Magician, instead of meeting the Magician, he kind of becomes the Magician. Like, because the Magician is all about trusting your skills, trusting your intuition, trusting your power, your skills, all of that. Um, the Fool's leap of faith kind of leads him to trusting himself, trusting his skills, and then it opens like this whole magical portal, which then leads into him meeting all of these magical creatures. He meets the high priestess, he meets the empress, the emperor, and then so on and so forth. Um, we'll follow along his journey, and I've actually written a couple of like drafts of what the story is going to be, and I'm liking it so far. I think what's special about this deck and why I'm so excited about it is because I know I have a lot to say. I mean, we all do. We all have our own stories. We all have things that have inspired us that we would love to share with other people, and this is it. This is exactly it. My journey, and I don't know if it's, you know what, actually no, the Fool is gonna, I feel like it's pretty much set in stone because it sort of sets the tone for the whole um, deck, or at least this part of the deck. The Fool's journey begins on a cliff, overlooking the sea, watching the sunrise, and he's kind of just contemplating like life and how amazing it is. He's kind of at the precipice of, what am I doing with my life? I want to go on an adventure. I want to live a life that I can be proud of. And this is actually based off of me, of my life, because way back in 2017, I went to Siargao for the first time. No idea, no clue where that even was or what was that even. My friends were like, "Oh, hey, let's go to Siargao. It's in Mindanao." And in my head, I'm like, "That's a really far place. That's a really far vacation. Like, I'm lazy. I'd rather not take a flight." But I'm glad I said yes. Because the moment we got there, I was like, wow, this place is something. And I started feeling like, wow, there's something so different about this place, and it's just beautiful. But aside from like physically being beautiful, like I felt something inside me like stir. And then, um, I went to one of the bars. Well, one of the very few bars at the time. It was Barrel. And then I met these two girls. They were the bartenders there. Um, Chris and Chet. They. I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but they started telling me that they left their jobs in Manila to live there. And then in my head, I was like, you're shitting me. You left a stable job in the city to live on an island? Like, what is that even? Mind you, this was at a time that I hated my job. I felt overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and there were a lot of things that were against my values. Honestly, advertising really does have that tendency. uh, but I felt like that moment when they told me we left the safety and security of what's familiar and just decided to go for something that makes us feel happy. And then I had so many questions, and I kept joking. I was like, don't say these things. Don't tell me these things because I will do it. I'm going to. I most likely will do this also. But in my head, it was just a joke. Like, I didn't think that I actually would because this sheltered boy, this princess, who doesn't know how to cook, doesn't know how to do laundry, doesn't know how to exist without help. It sounded so impossible. It sounded like a fantasy. It sounded like a dream. It sounded like something that I would want to do, but never have the courage to actually do it. So, fast forward a couple of months later, I mean, after we left, and I was like, it's still there. I still feel like I want to do this. When I got back to work, all I could think of is booking another flight, a one-way ticket, and just live that kind of life. Like, there was something in me that just felt like I needed to get out of the city. I needed to get out of this life that I am currently living because it's definitely not what I want. I honestly had no idea what I wanted with life at that point. I mean, what 23-year-old does? Was I 23? I don't know, 2017, 1991, do the math. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I did end up in advertising because, well, I graduated from a design course, information design. So I'm like, well, I have no idea what else I can do. I have no other skill set. I'm not good at, like, math. I'm not good at sales. I'm not, like, I make pretty things. That's all I know. That's all I know how to do. And I don't know. I was just like, it felt like the easier thing to do. It also felt like it's what makes the most sense. But I hated it. I disliked, I guess, the culture of it. I felt like I wasn't making art anymore. And even if I do create designs that look pretty, it felt like there was zero soul. Because at the end of the day, we are pushing products. We are pushing to sell, which is fine, honestly, but I felt I wanted something more. I still kept in contact with Chris, and I kept messaging her. I feel like she must have gotten annoyed with all the questions that I had. I was like, if I go there, what can I do? If I go there, where will I stay? How will I feed myself? Like, I had all these dumb questions, and I'm so glad she actually was just like entertaining them, because it made me feel like it was a little bit safer. I was gonna take the risk. I wasn't sure when, but I was gonna. I remember actually deciding that I wanted to leave the company because I knew in myself that the next year, so it's around like November, December, like I knew that I really wanted to move to Siargao for at least a trial run. So I sent in my resignation and I quit. But um, I had another offer to work part time. So still marketing, still within my skill set. But it did give me a little bit more freedom because they knew that I wanted to move, and then I needed some form of stability. I mean, I'm already taking a leap, or I'm already doing something crazy. I need to at least make sure that it is a responsible leap of faith. So I did. And I'm very grateful that they did allow me to continue working remotely from there. I did have that part time gig that still gave me the support that I needed and allowed me to live comfortably for the time that I was there. And when I got there, it was just amazing. Like, I was by myself for the first time in my life. I have never felt freer. I have never felt, lack of better word, accomplishment, that I can actually do this. Like, I started trusting myself a bit more. Like, oh, I can cook. Oh, I can do laundry by myself. Please don't judge this sheltered boy. But it was something. It was the beginnings of this whole journey that I am in now, and it didn't feel as scary as I thought it would, because there was something about the island that just felt like home immediately. But yeah, the amazing thing about this whole thing is that there was that spark of a seed that was planted way back in 2017. It started out with a yes to go to an island that I've never been to, I've never even heard of. And then just having that random moment where a stranger tells me their story that I get inspired by. And then I started choosing myself a bit more every day. Quitting my job wasn't an act of rebellion because I disliked the job. It was me choosing myself, choosing my happiness, and choosing my path. It was scary. It was definitely scary. I had all of these thoughts that were like, what if you fail? This doesn't make sense. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? It was all there. But I felt it like in me that it needed to happen. It needed it needed to happen. When I think back on it, I have no idea where I got the strength to do it. Because again, this boy was a very sheltered child. I didn't, and I liked it. I liked being comfortable. I liked not having to worry about anything. And I literally just put myself in a position that I know I was going to be uncomfortable in. Because I wanted to grow. I wanted to be more than what I currently was. And that's exactly what the Fool is all about. Saying yes to things is to be excited about the journey ahead and to just explore the world and be yourself. And that was the beginning of my journey. And that's what I illustrated in The Fool. I tried to capture that moment where I was sitting on a couple of rocks. I think we were in Guyam Island. I was seated next to Luis and Mara, my friends from high school, and I think I vividly remember us just sitting there looking out into the horizon. And I think I did tell them, like, I think I want to stay here. Like, there was that moment. And that moment just changed everything. So, yeah, well, that was me reminiscing. That was a really long, that's a very long video. Um, I don't think I've ever done a video like this. A vloggy situation. But I do want to document more. I do want to take you on this journey of the Imaginarium Engkanto and just let you in my world. Because I have a lot to say. But yeah, at the end of it, I can't wait to actually see how much growth or how much this deck will change. I feel like it's gonna keep shifting and changing just like the sands. But yes, I'm excited to share it. Alright, so I'm playing with the microphone, and now I understand why people hold the thing instead of actually putting it. Anyway, quality sounds so much better. Anyway, I guess I'm doing that now too.